Brace yourself. It's that time again. Welcome to Unfiltered. This is episode number 41, if you can believe that. Man, and time just flies by. I'm going to start out tonight. I want to say hi to another fan that I met while I was working. I want to say hi to Mike August, a guy that I delivered a pizza to, and he recognized me and had great things to say about the show. So, hi, Mike. I want to talk again about Cheshire TV. The money's running out real quick, and it's sad. And if something doesn't happen, the doors are going to close, and you'll be forced back to a bulletin board with stupid WKNE music. So, aside from donations, which nobody seems to be coughing up any money, and I know you've got money because you're ordering pizzas every night. So, donate to Cheshire TV. Send some money down. Get involved. This is for everyone. Another thing you can do, everybody get a pen right now, piece of paper, and write this phone number down. Toll free, 877-485-2620. That's the phone number of a man named Keith Berkeley, the president of Time Warner New England, up in Portland, Maine. It's a toll-free call. Call him. Tell him that you enjoy watching Cheshire TV and you want him to help us advance this contract so that Cheshire TV can start getting some money. All right. That's all I'll say. Apparently it's doing no good to beg, you know? Oh, well. Give the number again? I'll give the number again. The number is 1-877-485-2620. I'll keep it and give it again later, too. How's that? All right. Got news. Big news in Keene. Grove Street is now open for two-way traffic. Oh, thank God. Man, when I was delivering from a simple order to what's the healthcare down there on Lower Main Street? Harborside. Westwood. Used to be Westwood. It's Harborside now. It's a 2-minute delivery until you had to take that Eastern Ave 8-mile trip. You know, mileage does great things to pizza, let me tell you. All right, but that's the big news. Grove Street is open both ways. You cannot make a left onto Grove Street coming down water. That's the only stipulation. Is coming from Eastern Ave down towards Main Street, you can't turn onto Grove Street coming that way. But if you're coming down Main Street, you can cut across on Grove Street. Great news. What a good job the city government is doing this week. This was a story I pulled from Brattleboro. It says, nudity case ends with a plea. And apparently it's a local guy was charged in May with a felony sex crime for dancing naked on the streets of Brattleboro. Yeah, he pled guilty to a lesser offense and has been given a 1-year deferred sentence. He was 20 years old. He must appear before the community's reparative board, which will work with him to design an appropriate sentence. So I guess in Vermont, you get to pick your own sentence. I'd choose dancing around the streets naked. A sentence that fits the punishment. And if he completes his sentence and stays out of trouble, his record will be clean. But he's been one of the Brattleboro residents who became known for wearing nothing on the streets. And they said he crossed the line in May when he was seen dancing naked and pulling a piece of clothing back and forth between his legs and rubbing his genitals. Now, I could see how that would be considered inappropriate.
Well, I know in Vermont you can walk around naked as long as you don't touch
Yeah,
the law. It's against the law.
It says there's no law against nudity, and the select board didn't want to outlaw it. But police say Police said simple nudity turns into a crime depending on the behavior of the person involved. Yeah. So, anyway, it's nice. Here's a couple that. This one, a man accused of biting a 3-year-old from New Bedford, Mass. They say the man bit off the lip and ear of his girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter in attacks that left her so mutilated doctors could not fully repair the damage. This is a man that should have a gun put to his head and somebody pull the friggin' trigger. Yeah. And they're expected to be arraigned today. I can't remember if I got this out of today's paper or it was this week anyway. But he was going to be arraigned this week. And chances are plea bargains and his fancy lawyers and whatnot will get him nothing. You know? Our good old justice system.
That should be life in prison.
At least life in
or
prison.
Death row.
Yeah. Another great law-related story. Former Vice President Al Gore's son is facing drug charges. You think he'll do time like Paris? Not a chance. Not a chance. He was released after being arrested early Wednesday and charged with possession of marijuana and prescription drugs after sheriff's deputies stopped him for driving 100 miles an hour on southbound Interstate 5. But, man, oh man, they said he was taken into custody after deputies stopped his Toyota Prius and detected the strong odor of marijuana. A search of the car found marijuana and Vicodin, Valium, Xanax, and Adderall. Cool, huh? Guy had a veritable smorgasbord going on. Yeah. And probably nothing will happen. But, I don't know. It's one good thing in this story is he was traveling at 100 miles an hour in a Toyota Prius. That's a hybrid, people. Yeah, baby. I like it. Good for him. I hope they throw the book at him. Yeah, exactly. All right, got a bunch out of the strange news, Priest, because apparently the stranger the news, the better. This is out of Chicago, and I got to tell you, I read this and it brought back a memory of coming, driving truck one day through, where the hell was it? It was somewhere. We were coming through. And Mike's screwing off, not helping me out a bit.
Well, I don't know what the story
Nebraska.
Cornhusker State.
Yeah, we were in Nebraska, coming out of Nebraska, one of them big cities. But this story's from Chicago. It says a busy section of highway was closed.
Wait a minute.
No, it made me think of the story. We'll get into the story here after I read this.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago is in
Yeah,
Nebraska.
listen to this. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, buddy. A busy section of highway was closed for 7 hours Sunday after a truck tipped over and spilled pig ears, pig feet, and grease. The greasy pig parts created slippery conditions and forced the closure of northbound lanes of the Edens Expressway. A sudden shift in the truck's load caused it to tip on its side near an entrance ramp, and out came the stuff. Now, you remember, we had Ryan with us that time.
Right, we were following a chicken truck or something, and all the oil came out. Yeah.
That over the top of that truck.
Yeah.
Were they all pickled?
No, it was stuff. It was the stuff coming out of the slaughterhouse that they actually ship out of the slaughterhouse, the renderings and stuff.
Yeah.
Just the garbage. And the truck, they ship it in big, like, dump body trailers.
It had to have been a hell of a mess.
Oh, it was?
It was pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, the truck slammed on its brakes and everything went right up over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, chicken lips.
Yeah.
So you're
The
glad you're not in a convertible.
poor cleanup crew. Yeah. Yeah. His
Oh.
Now, I wonder if that's considered a biohazard.
No, I'm pretty sure it was organic. All right. This one is from Bogota, Colombia. It says the things police searches turn up. And says a sharp-eyed airport instructor foiled a plot to ship 9 kilograms of cocaine to Panama when he discovered the drug stuffed inside a set of false teeth. Yeah. In an effort to stay one step ahead of the law, traffickers in the world's #1 cocaine-producing country have long found creative means for camouflaging their drugs. So, yeah, hide them in false teeth, works of art, whatever else you can find.
Dogs.
Girls. I didn't say that. This is a story from Los Angeles. It says people will pay for anything. This is some things that were sold on eBay.
eBay has to be.
$305 for an empty can of gourmet dog food taken from Paris Hilton's trash can.
Oh.
A used toothbrush, $305. Paris's used toothbrush. 2 envelopes sent to her while she was in jail sold for $510 for envelopes. We should have some of them jail envelopes pretty soon. I'll sell them. And a Coke can from her trash went for $51. So, I mean, that's stupid. Those people could send that money to us. You know, they're buying empty cans of dog food. Come on. Lee's got a dog. I'm sure he'll sell you all the empty cans of dog food you want. Cheap, probably.
I got a dog.
All right. I pulled this from Madrid, Spain. It says, go ahead, act like a rock star. And a Spanish hotel chain planning renovations at one of its Madrid locations offered 30 highly stressed out people selected by a team of psychologists the chance to do the demolition in their hotel. Imagine that.
I used to love doing demo.
Oh yeah, I used to love staying in hotels because that's the first thing you do is like flip the beds upside down and trash out the room. It's what, I mean, it's what they got maids for. They come in and go, Jesus, they had a hell of a party here.
Hey, the maids
Yeah.
can do it too, just like it
Earn
was
your
always.
$7 an hour, lady. But yeah, they gave them sledgehammers and battering rams and let them go to smash through all the rooms. And said the amateur demolition crew swung hammers into television sets and bedroom walls and tossed beds and desks like hard partying rock stars. Who hasn't dreamed in the middle of a stress attack of breaking everything around them? After a few blows comes exhaustion, and with it the release of pain-relieving endorphins which make us feel much better. So, yeah, what an idea. And they didn't have to pay for a professional demolition crew. So, I'll save those for later. All right. Well, that's the news. We'll talk right now about wealth. Because wealth isn't money. Yes, it's on there, Bruce. This is the lead-in I was talking to you about earlier. All right? His mind is worse than mine, my God.
Put the program, will you?
Real wealth isn't money. People judge people by how much money they have, how much power they have. Real wealth comes from life experiences. It comes from getting out and doing things, meeting people, and it comes from the friends that you surround yourself with. Which means I'm the richest man in the world. And here's why. On camera one, we have Greg. I gave you a 4-minute lead-in to this whole setup thing. Work into camera 2.
You didn't tell me you were doing this. You came up this weekend, you didn't say a word about it.
It's because I just figured it out today.
Gee,
Nice
thanks.
tribute, huh? Thanks. Camera 1, we got Greg, and next to Greg, we've got Jane in our floor director's seat. I'm sorry, Bruce. I figured
Stop,
Mike
Jane.
can move the camera while it's on.
There we go. There's Jane.
All right.
I want to say hi to Lisa and her mother. because they're still watching.
Did you turn the microphone on?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, hi, Lisa. I still think about you, Lisa. I try and think about everybody, all my fans that I've got out there. And lately, it seems like I've got way too many to interact with. So people actually, the ones that search me out, I talk to. Anyway, where are we at? We're on mic. We've got Mike on camera 3. And standing next to Mike, we've got a special guest in the studio here to observe. We've got John Whittam from Vegas.
Las Vegas.
All the way from Las Vegas.
I definitely need to say hi to my mom.
Your folks live in Keene.
Yeah, well, Richmond.
Oh, in Richmond.
And you
Okay.
gotta say hi to your mom when you're on TV, right?
Yes, you do. And living in Richmond, we'll have to send her a DVD.
Well, I think she may have it on cable right now, actually. We told her I would be here, and they were going to try and tune it in.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
if
cool.
not, yeah, I want to have a recording.
Yeah, we'll get that for you.
And one for my wife, too, who I'll say hi to for that occasion.
All right, yeah. Oh, we'll send a bunch of stuff out for your wife. And in the booth, we have Bruce and Andrea as usual.
How's it going tonight, Rick?
Same as always, Bruce, just trying to drive you nuts.
You're doing a good job of it, buddy. Thank you very little.
Well, you know, I try. It's hot out here too, Bruce. I'm sorry. And we have Andrea.
Well, maybe it's time to take that shirt off then.
It might just be. You have a NASCAR report for us.
Yeah, I do have a NASCAR report, but I got to say something before I get started. And it goes back to little old Paris Hilton.
Okay.
With all her stuff that went out on eBay.
Yes.
You used to chuckle at me every time I'd say, you know, somehow we got to get a hold of those lug nuts and we put them out on eBay. We could sell those things.
I'm telling you, people will buy anything.
They will buy them.
Yes.
And those two in the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to give this report. This is not fair.
They're teaming up on you.
This is
Well,
not funny.
I'll get you back on track.
No.
No.
Yes, Greg's showing what's going
I'll
on.
get you back on track, Andrea, because who won the money this week, darling?
Oh my goodness! Rick won the money.
Yeah, Denny
came
Hamlin.
in first, and
What?
I'll tell you what. And the funny thing is, Denny came in first after actually Martin Truex had led an awful lot, but they went in for one last pit stop, and Denny's crew chief opted to take 2 tires. And that kind of usually puts you at a disadvantage, but it gave him position on the track. Had it been a few more laps, I think Jeff Gordon could have taken him, but he was able to hold Jeff Gordon off, and Truex, they adjusted his tires, the air pressure. Well, I'm of the opinion if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So why the heck they didn't leave the air pressure alone is beyond me.
You might have won.
Of course I might have. Instead, I came in third. Well, he came in third. But anyways, it kind of jockeyed the point standings just a touch. Well, I got to hold my paper over here. Okay. Anyways, it didn't do a whole lot to it, but Jeff Burton fell back down to 5th and Jimmy Johnson up to 4th. But other than that, it really wasn't bad. Now, we got a couple other things, too. Brian Vickers, when he went to take his qualifying lap, he qualified pretty solid as in 28th position. He's a Toyota, and they've been having kind of a rough time qualifying. Unfortunately, after qualifying, they found him to be 1/8 of an inch too low. And that is, or closer down to the ground than he should have been. So he was disqualified, and the car that they had put on, the BAM Racing 49, that was on its truck, they actually had to, they pulled it off, and he was actually able to race. So that was kind of cool. Then, Mr. Kyle Busch. Oh, I was excited about this. And Johnny Sauter, and I dislike both of them. They both lost 25 points because after they failed to meet the inspections after the race because their front car heights were too low. They weren't right. But anyhow, last little piece of news, and this is, so I'm really going through this kind of fast, but Dale Jr. is going to drive course, his own car. They call it JRM. I always called it JR Motorsports. But anyways, he's going to drive his own Busch car this week on Friday night in the Busch race. It's the number 88. And it's going to be painted up like the Navy SEALs in honor of the 4th of July. So he's going to be driving that. But so anyways, that'll be something to look forward to. And then we'll have, of course, our regular Saturday night race at Daytona, which ought to be great because it's under the lights. And I don't know about you guys, but I love racing under the lights. They're absolutely the best. So that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you, Andrea.
Sure.
Another great,
Yep.
great NASCAR report.
But like
And
I said, we got to get those lug nuts because daggum it, if they'll buy an old nasty dog can, then they'll buy a lug nut.
oh yeah, yeah. And like I said, you just advertise lug nuts from Loudon, New Hampshire, and you don't have to get them from the track.
Exactly. It doesn't matter where you find the lug nut.
That's right. That's right. All right. We're going to slide into the 70s, back into the hippie days. And you know, this past weekend, in the weekend of the 4th in Keene, 1977, a huge concert at the Cheshire Fairgrounds. It was called the Super Session 77 Rock Concert. They had an estimated 20,000 spectators. And it was a peaceful concert. No incidents, no injuries. See if I can find Duke and the Drivers played. The Franconia Notch Band with some good time country rock. The Poussette Dart Band. They were from way back.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember them.
And Orleans. A lot of the old timers may remember Orleans. They only had one or two big hits, but. And then Levon Helm and the RSO All Stars with Dr. John and Paul Butterfield closed the show. What I found funny was in the middle of this article, it says there was a rough division of ambiance. And on the west side of the stage, the piles of beer cans were higher, motorcycles abounded, rude remarks filled the air, and dope dealers peddled their ware. Sleeping and or passed out souls were ignored but not trampled. To the east of the stage, it was more low-keyed. Nearly everyone was conscious, lounging on blankets, throwing frisbees, enjoying the music. Although many people pushed to the front as Tom Rush began a lively set. In the middle of the crowd was a small contingent of keen tokers. An ad hoc group of appreciators of life who flew a small banner proclaiming their existence. And why not? Here we are. Try to stay away from us. But it said it was a really a great show, and it was peaceful and happy and a fine day. So yeah, we used to have stuff like that. I mean, mid '80s, I think we even had big names come to the fairgrounds.
Well, it was the 70s, so I don't remember if I was there or not. But
It was. Yeah, I don't think I went to this one. But, because I was junior in high school or something. But no, and at that time, probably the folks said, you're not getting down there with the pot smokers and the motorcycle guys, you know. I pulled this because it was an editorial or a letter to the Sentinel from 1977 from Eugene Mellish of Court Street. And they titled it, "What's Billion?" And it was a rebuttal to an editorial from June 27th of 1977 called "What is a Billion?" And Mr. Mellish says, "I note you included only a portion of the original quotation, omitting the punchline. Your readers may be interested in the complete quote, which I believe is as follows. Most people in Washington have lost sight of what $1 billion is. 1 billion seconds ago, the first atomic bomb had not been exploded. 1 billion minutes ago, Christ was still on earth. 1 billion hours ago, men were still living in caves. Yet $1 billion ago, in terms of government spending, was yesterday." Yeah, that's Kind of weird, huh? All right. This was out of Chicago, 1977. Crime easy, judge says. And this was cool because a federal judge who sentenced a man for bilking the Veterans Administration out of $200,000 said he would have been happy to put VA officials in prison too, because they make such crimes easy to commit. And in sentencing Percy Copeland, president of a Southside barber school, to 1 year in prison, District Court Judge Frank McGarr said the VA itself is guilty of stupidity and negligence for failing to monitor its programs adequately. Says if the government had the wisdom and insight to indict the Veterans Administration, I'd send them to the penitentiary to join Mr. Copeland. So, cool. And this one, the last one from the 70s. The evening news canceled at this house. Too violent. Yep, this was out of New York. We're not watching the evening news in our house. It's too violent. And I'm looking for a name. It says, after sitting up with a sleepless 9-year-old for 2 frightened hours past bedtime trying to convince her that no one would hijack her camp bus or otherwise commit mayhem, these 2 parents voted to restrict their news to the morning newspaper. And I mean, that was one of the biggest issues in the late 70s, was the violence on TV. And they were pushing for TV shows to stop the violence. When, I mean, even today, the worst thing you see on TV is you watch the news. Yeah. And it's filled with blood and guts and horrors that people shouldn't see. All right. Anyway, that's the news from the 70s.
Well, we used to come home from
Nobody-
work and watch the war. And the kids would sit there eating their dinner while we were watching
Yeah.
the war go off.
And we were cheering. Turning them into
Nobody
warmongers.
Nobody wants to watch the news if it's not blood and guts.
Well, you're right. And it's all ratings, and it's all overblown. I don't know. It's either that or let's, see what Paris Hilton's doing. Or Nicole Richie or Lindsay Lohan and her parents divorcing or some crap. I don't know which one's in the news now, but this man's in the news always. And it's Mike Blastos. And this week, back in 1977, Mike Blastos says, I've never written an ad that attracted so many people with favorable comment, who agreed with my views as the ad which criticized one of our councilmen for maneuvering to shut off debate on the proposed Ashwillet hydroelectric plant. I guess most Americans still believe in freedom of speech and take a dim view of people who attempt to stifle debate. I guess the right attitude was voiced by that great Frenchman, Voltaire, when he said, I may disagree with what you say, but I will fight to the death for your right to say it. Come to think of it, that could be a good slogan for this entire series of ads. So yeah, he was all about the freedom of speech before he became the mayor. Things change. All right. Out and about, it's easy this week. The only thing I saw was the hot spot. I believe the band Intercept is back at the hot spot over in Rockingham this weekend. Other than that, get out, find yourself something to do this weekend. I didn't have time. I've got a ton of birthdays and local birthdays this week. July 3rd, Rob Dadura. Did I say that right? Okay, how old is he? You don't know. Okay. We don't have Rob's age. His birthday was yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
On July 7th is my daughter Sheena's birthday. She's 25 this year.
And she's taking me to see Kanye West next Thursday, so I won't be here.
See, you get to go to a concert.
No, she's taking me with the tickets that she got for her birthday.
Oh, Jane got her the tickets. See, and she's taking you, and meanwhile, I didn't even get a Father's Day present.
Yeah, you did.
I got just a stupid card. Just a card.
You have birthday this week, right?
Tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow's
And Johnny's birthday is tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad you mentioned that now while I'm on the birthdays. In big birthdays this week, July 2nd, singer Michelle Branch was 24, and actress Lindsay Lohan was 21. July 3rd, Tom Cruise was 45. Kurtwood Smith was 64. He's the father from that 70s show. And Montel Williams is 51. On July 4th, Uncle Sam is old. So, apparently. Oh, that's not this weekend, though. I'll announce that next week.
We was just going
The
on.
week of.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I do the week of. Yeah. July 5th, Robbie Robertson, the singer from the band, is 64. Huey Lewis is 57. And Edie Falco is 44. All on July 5th.
Wow.
So, yeah. All right. That's that.
There's
in-
one you missed. July 3rd was Bruce's brother's birthday.
Oh, how come we didn't write that
Ryan.
down? Oh, Ryan McAvoy. Happy birthday to Ryan, too.
Hi, Ryan.
All right.
Ryan.
They just flying in.
See?
All right. I got to tell you guys,
Sorry.
what are you doing, Mike?
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you, I had my first negative comment about the show this week. And I was out going on a delivery, going up West Street, and I was at the lights, and a car was basically next to me. We went up through 2 lights, and as soon as he turned to go out the highway, I heard him yell, "Your show sucks." And I just waved. Because, I mean, he's got his own opinion. And I just wish that he would have said something earlier so I could ask him why he thought that. You know?
Unless you still watch.
I mean, how else do you know if a show sucks unless you watch it?
Yeah.
So, if you're watching, I'm talking about you on the show. And you're happy now, right? All right. Here it is. This is a public service I'm going to give to everybody out there. Everybody watching this TV, if you order pizza, here are a few tips. Okay? I'm a delivery driver. Your pizza getting to you on time and hot and in good shape depends a lot on you. Don't give me your house number unless you're sure that the number is on the house. I spend a lot of time driving back and forth trying to figure out what number houses are. If you live in an apartment building, give me the apartment number. There's nothing worse than showing up at an address with a pizza and having it be 5 or 6, 7 apartments, and all you have is the address. The more specific your directions are, the better. Turn a light on. I was thinking maybe we should give out like little flags or something with a stick. So when you order pizza, you can stick the stick out in your front yard that says, "I'm waiting for pizza." You know? Something like that might be a good idea. Turn your light on, you know? A lot of pizza drivers don't like dark, sketchy areas. And if your house is dark, I'll sit out front and honk the horn. Because, yeah, with people getting robbed and attacked, you know, watch out for your pizza guys. And have your money ready. The pizza parlors will give you a total, figure in your tip, have the money ready. Time is money for a driver. The longer a driver has to sit while you dig through to figure out if you've got enough change to pay for the pizza that you've already ordered, he's wasting money. He's wasting time and wasting money, waiting on you. He's losing money, yeah. But those are just some tips, you know. Try and make it easy. Give the best directions you can to your house. You know, even if you tell the people what color your house is, which, come in the side door, come in the front door, you know, whatever. At least a clue. All right. Along with that is, what do I want to do? God. Let's start with this I found. Actually, no, let's go to this, because this kind of made me upset. A couple weeks ago, I talked about the border agents that are still sitting in jail for 11-year terms because they shot the illegal alien smuggling the drugs over. All right, so explain this to me. How come Scooter Libby gets found guilty by a jury and sentenced to 30 months in prison for obstruction of justice and perjury, and the president says he doesn't have to serve his time. What? I mean, where do we live? Is this equal for all? Because when I was in school, there were 3 branches of the government: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. Not just one group like we've got today. It was 3 separate branches. They each had jobs to do. And the president didn't tell the judicial system what the hell to do. They told him. They said, these are the laws. He would veto them. It would go back, and the Senate would pass them or something. I don't know. But
It's not right.
3 branches for a reason. And none of them have
The
anything to
president
do.
didn't give him a pardon or anything. He just said, you don't have to go to jail.
He commuted it, whatever that means. I guess he's got to drive around.
He's still got the record.
He's going to
Oh.
make him the chauffeur.
Just make him the White House chauffeur, yeah. Yeah. Commuted sentence means he takes the bus back and forth to prison. Oh, maybe the bus to work.
From prison.
From prison to work, yeah, to the White House. All right, another thing I read. Actually, I didn't read it. I saw a little blurb go across the bottom one night. I was watching Glenn Beck. And it said that it said doctor visits in the United States have increased by 20% in the last 5 years. And the most prescribed drug in America? Antidepressants. Why? Depression is a made-up thing. It's an emotion. It's sad. Everybody's sad. Everybody feels at one point or another like pulling the covers over their head and never coming out again.
Dead ex-husband.
And I know you suffer from depression, Jane, but the majority of depressions that are getting prescribed medications for is crap. And the doctors hype it like it's an epidemic, and it's something that will never ever be cured. It will never be cured because people have a brain, and the brain works weird ways. But you just don't start passing out the drugs to everybody. Oh, you don't feel like going to work? Oh, you're depressed. Here, let me give you some drugs. Jesus Christ. Depression, ADHD are 2 of the most biggest crocs I've ever heard. A kid doesn't feel like going to school. He's doing poor in school. All he wants to do is lay around the house and party. Oh, poor baby, he's got ADHD.
Have you heard the new one that's the sister to PMS?
No.
Oh, I don't have PMS. The doctor told me I have PDD. Don't ask me what it is, but it's a new disease.
Yeah.
Drugs are good money if you're not curing anything.
Exactly. We can't cure anything. We can't cure anything. But we keep coming up with more diseases and more
So you
diseases.
don't think depression's real?
Some depression's real.
So some depression could be treated. Just like me, I had depression after my sister passed. I took some medication. Now I'm off it. I'm feeling so much better. I needed to get over that little hump.
Yeah.
So
But then don't you think you could have got over that without the medication?
no.
There's no possible way that you could just think
It
that
would
life
take-
was great enough to go on and...
No, I always thought life was great enough to go on. I just didn't want to go on with it. But
Because you're looking at the guy that's had the gun in his mouth more than one time.
I know.
And, you know...
And that's depression.
That's not depression.
What is it?
That's just stupidity. That's giving up. That's letting everything control you.
But don't you think that sometimes people need something just to help them over that hump? Like
Yeah,
yourself. I took
exactly. Sit down, smoke a big fat one, and get over it.
I couldn't afford it because I was depressed and I wasn't
mean-
working.
I mean, see, that's it. You should have stole. See, you would have just... All right. Yeah. No, I don't know. That fact that they were the most prescribed drug in America. You know, where there's so many... just
It's an abuse. of that product,
antidepressants.
yeah. It's an abuse of
Antidepressants. And I think the doctors are abusing the disease.
that. Yeah.
And people are using depression as a crutch for their friggin' laziness. It's what it is.
Sometimes.
I mean, I'm not saying everybody.
Right, there are
I'm
some
just
that-
saying, you know, that it's the doctors are getting, that's the way that, I mean, we're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it as, oh, this is a real legitimate disease.
You always seem to sugarcoat things, don't you?
I try to. But, you know, hell, what do I get? If I go to the doctor and say, look, I can't stop smoking pot because I'm addicted. It's a disease. It's not a friggin' disease. They'd lock me up in jail. Say, oh, you're a pot smoker? Nope, go to jail. They won't put me in a hospital for being a pot smoker. They put you in jail. Same thing with alcoholic. You know, alcoholics. There used to be treatment centers for alcoholics. We had one in Dublin. Had one. It's being turned into condos or something now for the rich and pitiful people that need a view. But yeah, nobody funds rehabs anymore. You know, and it's stupid. It's stupid. All right. Let me get to respect. Let's get to respect.
Come on, Rick. Give me another
Goes-
title. Let's go.
Which camera am I on?
2.
I'm on
No,
one.
1.
Thank you, Bruce. No man is ignorant, and that I may learn from him. That's a quote
All in the
from
family?
All in the Family. You want to know where the original came from?
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't remember the episode was, I can't remember the actor that played it, but he was the grocery delivery who was always calling Gloria his girlfriend. And he was a little slow, retarded, whatever the politically correct thing back in the 70s was. But he said that, or he had that written. And it came from Galileo. Said, I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. And I mean, that's people that put down other people, that look down on other people, think people are below them or above them. There's no such thing, because you can learn something from every single person you meet. Even the smallest baby who can't even utter a word, you can learn something from. So,
15
I don't know. It's respect. Another aspect of respect. This whole, I was checking MySpace the other day, and a lot of the chatter on MySpace, and the guys talking back and forth to themselves, to each other, and referring to their hoes and bitches. And, you know, that may be all cool and stuff on TV and when the rappers do it, but, you know, in real life, that's downright rude. And it's a woman, if you're a man, the woman you're in love with should be top priority in your life. She shouldn't be referred to as a hoe or a bitch or anything. Your lady. That's what she should be referred to. Your lady. And maybe not even your lady, because she's not your property, remember. I watched Maury Povich. Mike is over here laughing because he doesn't believe it. He's a control freak anyway. But well, he's a control
You were
freak,
married
but
to her. Could you control her?
he's a control freak, but you're just better at it. So he'd like to be in control, but we all know who is. But I mean, he doesn't call you a hoe or a bitch, you know? Well, at least not in public. Yeah.
His head would come off his shoulders if he talked to me that way.
And any girl. And it's,
Would I ever talk to you that
No,
way?
you
Or do I
wouldn't.
have more respect for you? than
it
that?
goes, all right, that's enough, kids. It goes back to the girls dating the badass guys or whatever, you know, and the whole fact that they stay with these guys, they let the guys walk all over them and treat them like crap. for instance, if a guy and his girlfriend are out, a younger couple, and he's with some buddies and she's tagging along with him, but his buddies are single, of course, and they go someplace in the car, where does she ride? In the back seat, because his best buddy's got to have the front seat. Stupid. And why any girl puts up with it, I don't know. Find yourself a guy that will respect you. Because, you know, there's nothing wrong with being single. I'm having a ball at it. You know, I've got nobody to answer to. I do what I want when I want to do it. And actually, there's not a woman that deserves my chivalry. That's what it is. Because I'm one of those people that thinks chivalry's not dead. All right. Where am I going? Parenting. I wanted to say a few things about parenting tonight. Because as a parent, my daughter's turning 25 this week. That is amazing. 25 years old. And she's such a great kid. And I was thinking about that. And you know, as a parent, you better cherish your time with your kids. Because it goes too fast.
Sometimes it don't last.
And it never lasts. They're up and gone before you can blink.
Check.
Yeah, and not just if you lose one, but even just natural progression. They grow up, they go away. That's life.
Mine came back, he's sitting out there.
I rarely hear from mine because she's got her own life, and she, you know, it's a sad day when you realize, geez, you know, my baby doesn't really need me anymore. But, you know, she's got a boyfriend to protect her and things like that, and to be the man in her life. So, you know, they grow up
think
and
she needs that,
they
though.
become.
She's a pretty
Oh yeah,
independent woman.
yeah, she's definitely
She's gonna be a
independent.
very independent woman. She don't need no man in her life.
The thing is, you want to, as a parent, you want to be part of your kids' lives, but don't be their lives. You know, a kid has to do everything that you did as a parent when you were kids. You've been there and they haven't. You know, guide them. Don't just flat out tell them what not to do. Let them do shit, and your job is to be there to pick them up after they fall. Let them make their mistakes, because mistakes are a big part of life. You make mistakes, you learn from the mistakes. As a parent, pick your kid up after he falls.
10 minutes.
And help them understand why they fell and how not to fall. Again, you know, I mean, you have to, everything in life is going to start with parents and what you teach your kids. So teach your kids, you know, teach your kids respect, but don't be so controlling that they hate you, because that will happen. Oh yeah, Christ, I forgot all about the CD. I'm sorry, thanks, Jane. This week's CD was a good one too. Jonathan Edwards, self-titled album. This was released in 1971. And the reason that I picked Jonathan Edwards is because he's a man who grew up in Peterborough. His parents, I believe, still live in Peterborough. I think he still owns a place in Peterborough. But he used to play in Keene quite a bit. He used to play Peterborough, the Folkway, a lot.
Place.
Yep.
Great place.
And it's funny, for anybody who doesn't know, he's the one that wrote Lay Around the Shanty and Put a Good Buzz On. Folksy, country, Train of Glory, the last song on the CD, has a fantastic harmonica bit in it. Like, blow me away harmonica bit, you know. Everybody Knows Her is a lot of hardcore strumming. But yeah, there's some banjo in there, and just great early 70s, folksy, kind of makes you feel good listening to it.
I was his groupie.
Yes, and I was going to say that. Back in the the early 80s, late 70s, you like followed him around New England.
Yep, I did. All over Vermont and Massachusetts, anywhere. He had a lot of outdoor concerts. But the last time I saw him play at the Colonial Theater, he sang with his daughter. And he told the story of how him and this girl that he had gone to college with, they got pregnant, and they gave her up for adoption. And she came to find her dad.
Oh, wow.
And this was probably, that was like the last first night that we ever had, and he played at the Colonial Theater.
Yep.
So it was quite a few years ago. But it was a very, very touching scene to have them sing together. It
Oh,
was
that's
nice.
really cool. Neat. All right, what else have I got? I've got some. All right, less than 10 minutes. I better get into some of this funny stuff. I've got some funny stuff now.
That toll-free number.
That toll-free number.
Oh, yeah. Let me give the toll-free number again. Get a pen. Write it down. 1-877-485-2620. The man's name is Keith Berkeley. He's the president of Time Warner in New England. Call him. Tell him you enjoy watching Cheshire TV. You want to accelerate the contract. That's all. Call every day. Everybody that's watching. I mean, it's not hard to dial a toll-free number. Come on. Call and tell the man exactly what a great job Lee Perkins is doing here at Cheshire TV, and what a great job we're doing with no money, that we'd like some money to see what we can really do, you know? Anyway, 877-485-2620. It's easy. I'll say it again. 877-485-2620. Call Keith. Tell him you love watching.
Now camera one.
Let's do it to camera one, too.
Hold on.
877-485-2620. Call Keith Berkeley. Tell him you like to watch Cheshire TV. Tell him you want to keep watching it. All right.
Now everybody's got it.
There's some bumper stickers. Jane brought them in to me, some funny bumper stickers that have been seen. And there were some pretty good ones.
5 minutes.
One of them says, if you can read this, I can slam on my brakes and sue you. Yeah. Don't like my driving? Then quit watching me. I used to have a handle on life, but it broke off.
Oh.
Yeah. Some people just don't know how to drive. I call these people everybody but me. One that I liked, save your breath. You'll need it to blow up your date. And the number one bumper sticker everybody would like to see, welcome to America, now speak English.
That's it, right?
Yeah. Just some more. Maybe I'll do some of the other ones later. Speaking of driving, this came in an email. This is from the New Hampshire Bureau of Department of Tourism. And it seems that New Hampshire is going to be on everybody's vacation list this long 4th of July weekend. And this list of rules will be handed to every person entering the state. And there's a note that says vehicles from New Jersey, New York City, and Connecticut will receive 2 copies. Rule number 1, that slope-shouldered farm boy you're snickering at did more work before breakfast than you'll do all day at the gym. And we call them dirt roads. No matter how slow you drive, you're going to get dust on your BMW.
That's where we live, yep.
I have a 4-wheel drive because I need it. Now drive or get out of my way. And watch out for the moose. Number 3, we all started hunting and fishing when we were 9 years old. Yeah, we saw Bambi, but we got over it.
I like Bambi.
Any references to corn-fed women, to corn-fed when talking about our women, will get your butt kicked by our women. Pull up your pants and turn your head around. You look like an idiot. That's a good one.
Sure, yeah.
Number 6 is if that cell phone rings while a bunch of mallards are making their final approach, we will shoot it. And you better hope it's not up at your ear at the time. Yeah, we have sweet tea. It comes in a glass with 2 packets of sugar and a long spoon. So you have a $60,000 car? We're real impressed. We have $250,000 skidders to pull logs out of the woods. And let's get this straight. We have one stoplight in town. When we stop when it's red, and we may even stop when it's yellow. Our women hunt, fish, and drive trucks because they want to. So you're a feminist? Isn't that cute? All right. And we do have golf courses. We have golf courses, but don't hit into the water hazards because it'll spook the fish. Opening day refers to the first days of fishing and deer season. They're religious holidays because you can get breakfast at the church. We eat lobster, scallops, clams, cod, and haddock. But if you really want sushi and caviar, it's available at the bait shop. And we've got pigs, and we've got cows. That's what they smell like. If you don't like it, I-91, I-93, and 89 all have southbound lanes off on them. All right. We must be down. What, we got 1 minute? Just about? Coming up on 1 minute?
What do you want?
877-4... Never mind. I was going to give it again.
I think it's right there.
Thank Cheshire TV. Send your donations and call the number. I've given it enough tonight. You can email me at headforlaughs@hotmail.com. You can check the website, www.unfilteredlive.com. I want to thank Cheshire TV, thank Lee and Nick for putting up with us. Thank Greg, Jane, Mike, Bruce, and Andrea. I want to say hi to Johnny and hi to Will, who's out in the other room watching. Thank my sponsors, Mom's Tattoo and Gemini Screen Print.
I can't forget them.
And I got to go back to work tomorrow night. So I took Saturday night off. So,
Good night.
Till next week, Rick Blood. Peace.